Hey folks, welcome back to part 3 of our value study. We're going to be painting our darkest value in this little landscape by Emma. And to review, we've decided to paint our darkest values. At the edge of the barn, we see it very dark right here, okay, and that repeats over here on this side as well. It tends to feather off in either direction. So we can do that, you can do that. I'm probably going to leave it hard edges just because of the nature of the value study. I'm not going to try not to fall down the rabbit hole of detail. So, darkest here around either side of the barn and fading off in both directions. There's also some darkness here where we transition from tree line to tree line. You can see this line here. There's a little darkness behind it. Go over here. Well, not so much. Not so much, but in our painting, I think we could, instead of fading off in the distance, we could do another tree line over on this side. Okay. After that, we'll just kind of peck at it and see what else we can do without getting too serious about it. Okay, let's start. Using our darkest value, I am going to load up my small number. Let's use a number 4. Let's use a number 4. Okay. And I'll zoom in a little. I'm going to work on this side of the barn first. You can see I'm going to back paint the barn with this dark value right around this corner of the roof and right straight down to the ground. Over here I have a tree line coming down, and I think I will back paint that. We'll see what that looks like afterwards. Okay, so starting up here, get our straight edges first. Kind of work the tree top randomly. Okay, did I mention that I laid my board flat? I'm not using a lot of water in this. This is not a big wet paint. We're using small amounts at any given time. Okay. So that kind of puts that set of trees all the way in the back, brings the barn forward and this tree line forward. And maybe instead of having a hard edge here, I'm just going to dry my brush out and tap it out as we go and feather it. That looks pretty good. Let's hop over to the other side. Do the same thing. Let's start right up here at this tree, or at this roof line, get the straight edge in. Going back for a little bit more to be able to move a little bit swifter. We'll paint in the trees. And as we get to the end of the barn here, we'll come back underneath the roof. And maybe like we did on this side, on the other side, we'll just start drying, tapping our brush off, drying it off. Okay. Do it again and just kind of dry brush your way out of that corner behind the barn. All right, very good. Let's go over to this tree line way over here. I think we will do this one over here. See this pencil line that I had from my original sketch? I'm going to use that. I'm going to back paint that pencil line with my darker wash. Okay, get a little bit more back there. And again, from that point on, I'm just going to kind of slowly dry my brush out and dry brush my way, stumbling off until I'm not really doing much of anything. That looks good. Now, in a sense, this thing is done. I think I've established my values that will get me through my painting. By that I mean I know how light I need to start in order to get to my darker values without being so dark that I can't do anything with it. So establishing this range before you get into a bigger piece is helpful. It's part of the planning process. That's primarily why I do this, so I can have a good idea of how light I need to start in order to get as dark as I want to get. All that goes out the window when you're painting a painting at night or in a dark room. Anyways, that's that. What we can do now, just for a few quick points, is use this same dark wash to kind of give this thing a little bit more life. All right. If you've ever been on a field, look off to the side and look at the trees, you'll often notice it seems dark under the branches. So let's do that. That's because you can see further into the woods down closer to the ground. There's also probably some holes in the branches up further up. So let's put one here and there and kind of break up that wide open area of second wash. Okay. Let's go to the other side here. Let's do the same thing. We're gonna come in ground level. We're gonna look underneath the trees for a second, see where the holes are, and then up top, same thing. That's good enough. That's good enough. Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing. On this one here, we have a this side of the barn is further away than this side of the barn. So what we're going to need to do is give that a little bit of a lighter. We're not going to use our third wash on this. I'm just going to tidy this up with a single line of paint. I'm going to go get a brush full of water, and I'm just going to kind of work that line out this way, back painting that edge. Okay, and then dry brush, or damp brush. Apparently that was a damp brush. This is still damp. We'll do the same over here. Shouldn't have done that. Let's try and take that off. Get a paper towel and a clean, wet brush. See if we can get some of that off this wall here. We just want to have it darker closer to that front barn. That's a little better. Do that again. Let's do that again. There we go. Using that same damp brush, I'm just going to feather that off this way. Damp brush. Still saving that, but I don't think that's so important anymore. We can kind of... Okay, let's make sure that barn isn't floating in the air. We'll set it on the ground. Okay. I don't think we can do anything else. Maybe a window. How about a window? How about a couple windows? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I think that's done. We could play forever, couldn't we? All right. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me see it when you're done.